Wow, got loads of people waiting. We're going live. That's fantastic news. Everything's looking good. Andrew Whelan, first up. Hello, Croeso, everyone. We're going to have to rush through a bit because we got stacks and stacks of things to cover tonight. And Arnie's away. Xavi's busy on production tonight. So I'm going to sing a little song. Just a quick one. It's very short, so don't all switch off. Hello, Gary, Myrig, everyone. It's very under-rehearsed, so just bear with me, alright? Pay paradise, put up a wind turbine with big noisy towers, cables and a substation. Don't it always seem to be that you just don't know what you'd last till it's gone? Pay paradise, put up a wind turbine. They took all the stones, put them in the stone museum. And then they made damn sure that the people would never ever see them. Why did it always seem to go? You just don't know what you got till it's gone. Pay paradise, put up a wind turbine. They paved paradise and put up a wind turbine. Pay paradise, put up a wind turbine. There you go. A little start to the show. I'm not going to be talking about wind turbines all night. I just want to get that off my chest, raise the issue, and just give a little update. If you haven't seen it already, there's videos getting loads and loads of views, like 1,500 views in a few days, because all our historical sites that we look at are about to get demolished. So it is relevant. I do stay out of politics, but when it's going to blast the whole lot, all their mound star maps, I am not exaggerating. Go find yourself the Wales Vision 2040 and you'll see on there. Just to say that we all want to save the planet, of course we do, but Wales already generates double the power that it needs from whatever they call it, reusables, eco-friendly, whatever jargon is prevalent this week. Anyway, so hello everybody. We'll do a little bit on that, but there's tons of other things need to cover. This evening, John Griffiths, Steve, Mike, Llewellyn, is Julian there? He's up on St. Gennydd Common with his boys. We're going to be up there during the week, trying to map this out, get things done, and see if we can do something. I'll do a little bit about that. Shaking Ross Stevens. Amazing song, Ross. Thank you. There we are. Have I missed anything? You missed everything. You missed me singing, Kate. And, not everyone turned off when I started singing. Right, okay, so let's have a look. Because if you're new, you're very, very welcome. It's not usually a political campaigning site, it's just history. And what we're trying to do is do a little bit of news, keep it light-hearted. It's Sunday evening, family entertainment, family-friendly fun. So don't get all, rude or aggressive or anything. We keep it all nice and friendly. And I'm going to look at history and all this history which we don't get to see. And a lot of it used to be in the textbooks and things like that, but bizarrely, it's no longer around. But the evidence still is. Well, usually I say the evidence is still around. It's just hidden and not destroyed. But dramatic things happened this week. I can't really avoid it. I'm going to have to talk a little bit about it, aren't I? It's just impossible to avoid. Like I say, if you go, you'll see the previous video in the week. I've been very busy this week. Without any real lengthy consultation. Just give you the time scale, just to realise it's urgent. The consultation started on Tuesday. They've been doing research on the site apparently for a month or two. Consultation ends this Thursday. That's it. It ends on Thursday, the 11th, I think it is. 11/11, there we go. And then they'll start sewing it all up and starting next June. And the new wind turbines will be on. Powered up by 2023. So it isn't like a vague conspiracy plot or anything like that. It's all spelled out. It's absolutely terrifying. Can I see the messages as well? Please. It's quite brutal, really. And I don't understand it. I'm going to put another video up giving the background. I mean, it's just massive overcapacity. And I've had people contact me. It's not just St. Gennydd. It's also the tallest wind turbines in Britain are going up near my stag. They're going to be over 250 metres. You got Pantigesig, which I've already got a video up. I need to do some more up. There's Matthew over there. That's going to get what whole area, the common, all the areas where people go, walk their dogs. Just going to go. And I want to say a little bit about the St. Gennydd site, because I did say we'd do more about the ancient star maps this week. And so I'm going to do a full presentation at the end, because if you are new, what we normally do, go through some news items, have some good dialogue, and some discussion, hear the comments. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Lego, yes. Lego, yeah, his area, Kyra, is being overplanted with trees. And it's also going to have a holiday park put over the hill fort there. So I sent the maps over. I'm hoping Lego can get back to me with... what we're trying to do is plot where all the holiday little chalets and stuff are going to go in relation to historical sites. I have to say, when I started doing this channel and everything, I know and never dreamt I am the person who runs away from campaigns like this fast, because all I want to do, I don't think it helps. I think that's where Wilson and Blackett had some problems, because they managed to get dragged into some of the politics. My hope has always been from the beginning, if we just talk about the history, just look at the historical sources, just look at the things that have been hidden and why they've been hidden, and talk about things a long way back. And I've got no allegiance to any political parties or anything, all right? Just to make that very clear. I'm very apolitical. I'm interested in politics, but no, alignment. And then you come across this, where the news dropped on Sunday. Martin Hutchinson put something up on Facebook that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these wind turbines, wind farms are going all over the hilltops. So we're losing a lot of the mounds are going to go, historical sites, never mind, the fact it's an eyesore. Where Wales already generates enough renewable energy to twice what it consumes every year. So, the reasons for this happening are just bizarre. I'll do more on that during the week. I'm trying to avoid it, okay? Yeah, well, there's been a few ideas. I'll tell you one idea my cousin Neil had, which has been fantastic, if we could have done it in time. Because, as you see, one of the themes I'm going to talk about, a little bit different, is a little bit about who really staged the Gunpowder plot and what went on there. Oh, can you pass the purple book there, please? And that is coming from this, Architecture Power by Robert Shaw. I thought scenes in the background, you probably hear fireworks going off and booms and all that, and it's that time of year, so I'll try and do a bit on that and see how it's all put together as a false flag. Fascinating. You should really read this book to get an idea of how running a country works, how governments work. It's not particularly it's British governments or what's happened here or anything, it's just how you run a country, okay? So get used to it. Right, wake up. Right, okay, let's have a quick chat, some of the things I'm going to cover tonight. Actually, let's just dive straight in, I think. Alright, so hopefully you can see this. Let's read some of the comments soon. Well done, RB. However, the corporation controllers will ignore everything. Yeah, I'm afraid it seems to be... so I don't want to go into too much. Is the development about money? I wonder. Right, alright. I'm trying to keep not to do that. Arnie's busy this evening. He had a deal. I was going to give him a little bell every time I mentioned... The things that go round and round, or the politics, you go ding, 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 and then I wouldn't overdo it, right? I'm determined not to. It's a history channel, okay? But please, 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 I'll put some links up. Read the Vision Wales 2040, and you'll see how all the uplands across South, Mid, and North Wales, is all the way up to Anglesey, they're all going to be developed in different ways. It's what I've nicknamed or christened the Rape of the Fair Country Part 2. We had Part 1 with the coal mines and all that kind of stuff, and then that's finally been tidied up. Now comes Phase 2. Oh, ding! Stop again, Ross. Right, anyway, so thank you very much, first of all, to John Powell there, who's the mayor of Brecon. And he put on this wonderful event where I got to talk about Cymroglyphics for a while up there. Great questions, great audience. Amazing venues, like a cave, as you can see. It's absolutely fantastic. And what I did there was I focused on reading the pictograms, which I thought might be a fun one for this evening. What I'm going to do is, though, I'm going to take the first half of the presentation was like a roundup on Cymroglyphics, very similar to what you can see on the Megalithomania site, if you want to see that video. But then I'm going to go through looking at this site. I'll just say a few words. So if you haven't read the Cymroglyphics book. Politics and history of the same beast. Go on, Leah. Sorry, there's some chat. Aren't they supposed to prove there's nothing of archaeological, scientific or wildlife significance? Yes. This is apparently the national interest. So everything's superseded. Straight up, top level, Welsh Minister Mr Drakeford will sign this off. No local consultation. In Powys, they rejected it and got overruled anyway. There you go. We should get on to that, but people need to do something for your area, okay? I'm going to try and save there's a wind turbine going up. My parents' house, got a beautiful valley view, and there's Eglwys Church, one of the oldest churches in the world. Incredibly important, incredibly ancient, and there's a wind turbine going pretty much on top of it. Rather than avoid places of interest, it seemed to have gone the other way. And if you look on the maps on my video, you'll see that where it says Cairn, there's a wind turbine practically on the Sea of Cairn. There's Twyn, an ancient burial mound, possibly in Bronze Age. That's what's got one on it, and this continues. So, right, just slightly distracting there. My little boy, keep himself amused, the video game. There you go.
I'm still watching it.
You're still watching the show, are you? Yeah. Right, I can see you monitoring the credit. Yeah, right. Anyway, that's some more fun stuff. So if you look at this here, you can see them. This is the Nama palette. It's supposed to be the oldest form of written communication in the world, or the earliest, the oldest. And what you do here is try and work out what all these things mean and why they're there. And in many ways, starting from here is the most powerful argument to show how the Welsh language can be used to explain hieroglyphs and pictograms. Because if you're new to the subject, if you take the symbol and just say it in Welsh, use the rebus principle, see what it sounds like, or just the straight words sometimes. For example, this guy up here, I won't do the whole thing, but if you look at the top, the head, the bull's head, if my mouse is hidden, it's the same in all of them. There's 2 on the front, 2 on the back. So you got the crowns. So I've given it away, haven't I? The horns. Horn in Welsh is Coran, and crown in Welsh is Coran. So when you see horns, if you're wondering why have they got horns on top of these ancient Babylonian and Egyptian things, Coran, crown. It's crowned, crowned. And one, which I noticed, because I had one person there yesterday who was really, you could see, he was out like, you weren't going to take this. He was going to prove me wrong somehow. So that's good, I was coming with the right attitude. But he was open and he listened. And this was the moment I saw his face change and he said, oh my goodness, I can't explain that. Because if you look, and I'm sorry I haven't zoomed in, hopefully you can see. I'm going to put this little part of the presentation together. But I'm going to add the graphics so you can see easier rather than just the live video. So if you look in here, you can see he's got ears. And the ears are, if you look at them, what do you think they are? So someone see it, they're leaves. So it's very clearly a leaf, nothing like an ear. So why would you have a leaf? And then if you look in Welsh Dictionary, the word for leaf is dall, D-A-L-L. And dall also means the keeper, or to hold. So you got holder of the crown, just right there. And you can go through the whole things. Everything just reads, it's that's remarkable, really. I think when I'll put that one up. I'm going to do about 25 minutes, just the pictograms. So it'll be a nice little follow-up video. And then I'd be interested to have a look at the back sometime, because this gets really fascinating. Well, it all is, really. You find out this is a drug ceremony, and how this is a rope, and whatever the substance is being blasted up his nose, and all this kind of thing. It's fantastic. Right, so thank you very much again to John for organising that, and all those people who turned up. Lovely people, really great questions. Good chat afterwards. And this is some coverage. So this has gone up in, oh my goodness, this, I think Nation Wales has put up an article about it. So it's getting coverage, and that's down to John's work as well there. Well, John's work getting this covered. So we're getting some, that's what I'm supposed to do now, isn't it? Show the article quickly. Right. Okay, that was very slick. There we go. So this is where it is. Egyptology news. The links will be in the description, or you can get them off the screen. I've been a bit behind this week. Very busy week. Last thing I need is a blasted wind farm thing coming up. So already had a packed week doing all the history stuff. So there we are. Does ancient Welsh hold the key to interpreting Egyptian hieroglyphs? And there's an article there. So you can click on that and see what that's all about. Excellent. So that's all good. So I can't concentrate like that. Okay. Sorry, I just got a bit distracted then. Right, okay. Right, now, this is one of the fun things we do. If you're a regular, you know all about this kind of stuff. We got the, here we go, another headline. Honestly, these are coming so thick and fast at the moment. I don't know what's going on. Because what you find is, say, if you watch this channel regularly, or if you just read archaeological press or something, you will see week after week, more and more finds are assumed to be anything but British, it would seem. That's how it seems to work. Oh, hang on a second. Slight technical hitch. What's happened? Come on, you can do this, Ross. Right, here we go. Right, a bit all organised. Oh, no, I thought I had the article here. Oh, right, I got a whole lot of articles. Not this one, unfortunately. All right. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Sorry about this. Because I wanted to show them. I do want to show the presentation quickly. Right, so I'll lift this off here. Oop. Oh, blasters! Because what you'll find happens anyway. Every time there's a find like this, an archaeological find like this, it's the interesting question is to work out how they decided what it was from. You know, what period it's from, whether it's Norman or whether it's Roman. So I'm just going to put the article up on the screen. Right, here we go. Right, this is BBC News here. So here we go again. Largest Anglo-Saxon gold coin hoard found in Norfolk. So immediately we look at that and think, well, what looks Anglo-Saxon about it? Short answer is not a lot, really. So this is the largest. So 4 gold objects were discovered. I'd like to see proper pictures of those. Would be nice. 131 coins, notified the appropriate authorities. Okay. So here's the hoard. I like to get better close-up pictures of the items. Look at that. The first coin was found in 1991, not until 2014. Now this is the interesting thing. How do they get this date? 610 AD, okay? This is what we're looking at. John, yeah, they have it under their belt for a good while. Right? John Griffiths is the one who's been doing work on this week. Very good work. Because what John's been doing is looking at the lettering. Actually, I'm not sure if it's this particular coin. But we're going to do a video on that. I'll try to get John on for a Zoom chat or something so we can go through it together. But I've studied coins a little bit. Not an expert by any means, but I'm not sure anyone really is. When you start looking into it, it's very, very vague subject. You put a coin in front of 4 experts, you probably get 4 answers. I'm talking about ancient British coins now. So the markings around here are very interesting. I also like to get into this kind of stuff, because this way it looks like a head. But then you find you have to twist them and turn them and stuff, and sometimes you'll see these are letters, and they're very interesting, but they're always found in Britain. But they're not British. So this is where it's suddenly lit up for me, because this includes coins struck from the same die in the same workshop as those found in a purse at the Sutton Hoo site, I suppose it means, or excavation or something. Right, let's just explain quickly now. If you look at if you go, we've got videos about this with Bob Morgan, who's done a lot of research on Sutton Hoo, and we've got updates coming that will blow your mind. The whole story's falling apart. This Radwell, then it was 610, and so this BBC story is behind the times because they are backpedaling fast, and that story's going out the window. As we've long suspected, Sutton Hoo can be far, far more ancient, and absolutely nothing to do with the Anglo-Saxons, nothing to do with the Romans either, and you're stuck with British. But for some reason, that's just a taboo. You cannot have anything being British. It's weird. All right. Oh yeah, here we go. As someone's pointing out here. Oh no, I'm still talking about the Pope. All right, like I say, it's a fun, family-friendly fun Sunday evenings viewing, so don't get too deep into that kind of dark things, okay? And let's try and keep to the subjects as well if we can. Right, okay, so the curious thing is now, so first of all, there's I thought there was a longer article about this. I remember reading more about this. I must have read another article as well. Sorry if I've thrown you around there, looking at that going up and down. Right, the point about this was, they are claiming here that some of the coins are made from the same die. So a die, you get, when you make a coin, there's different ways of doing it. You can pour them into a mould, or more commonly is to use a die. So what you do is you get a block, you put your, oh God, I've forgotten all the jargon. Anyway, you get your little blank, the blank, which has got a little piece of metal. This is why they're a bit irregular, because what they do then, they put a bit of metal on there, and there's a shape on this side. You get another shape on the top, and usually, to make it more efficient, save time, you put quite a few blanks in like a grid. And then you got to get this the die to smash down as hard as you can, you know, whack it. So they tend to get really big, heavy things, pull the hole up, smash, and try to do them all in one go, rather than the hand way of doing it, which is very difficult. You get one about this size, you put the blank on there, you put the cover on it, and you get a hammer, dink, 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 and eventually you get this one. Now, whichever method you use, because everything's hand done, you can try, this is what they claim anyway, to match up any imperfections and stuff to say, oh, it's definitely from that one. But even this isn't a very precise art, okay? Because what happens is, the materials the dies are made out of don't tend to be amazingly hard. It's not like modern stainless steel or something. Although, I live near Llantrisant, where the Royal Mint is, and even there you find they use a similar method with dies for stamping. They don't last forever. It's a very abrasive process. So what you'll find, if you study a set of coins, they become less perfect as it gets used. You can see the wear of the die, and you can try and locate coins like this. Because that's the joke, of course, isn't it? What's the difference between Llantrisant, just down the road, and Polos? Anyone know this one? I'll give you a chance. There's a slight lag. I'm sure the Welsh boys know the answer to this one. And the difference is, a polo is a mint with a hole in the middle. Llantrisant's a hole with a mint in the middle. So it's just done. Anyway, old jokes I'm sure you've heard. But anyway, so that's what they're doing. They're not able to date this. They're not able to put any precise matching. But what they're saying is it does seem to be the same as what's found in Sutton Hoo. So therefore, it must be the same as Sutton Hoo. Well, that could cause a bit of a problem, because now they're backtracking as to when and where the Sutton Hoo coins come from. Well, the theory is that, of course, they're European. Even though the gold comes from Britain, copper comes from Britain, all these metals come from Britain. They've been metallurgists and experts in metallurgy since about 1600 BC. We had the first migrations, then later migrations of 500 BC, incredible metalworking skills, but apparently incapable of making coins, and the coins are made in these little tiny little presses scattered all around sort of roughly France-German border, which is why you can't tell which one it came from. And there's always crazy ideas, like each would send one coin as a token, and I don't know. It's quite frankly guessing and nonsense. These coins keep getting found in Britain, and they look like British coins, but clearly that can't be the case. But what's going to be interesting is if that's what I want to say. One more thing. This is how it works. It's called context. This is how Bob Morgan's very keen on this. So when they did the first Sutton Hoo explorations, the person in charge of the operation, Mr. Big from British Museum, was taken on all expenses holiday to Sweden, where they showed various Viking ships and this kind of thing, and wined and dined him and made him a thoroughly wonderful time, and he came back. So his context now, the only thing he's aware of, when he sees the boat at Sutton Hoo, or not even the boat, but the outline, aha, it's the same as what I saw in Sweden, therefore it's Swedish. Same with Vendel helmets, all this kind of thing. So if the archaeology had been done in Britain first, presumably all the ships found in Sweden would have been presumed British, rather than the ones found in Britain presumed to be Swedish. It's that basic. I know, it seems crazy, doesn't it? I had no idea. I was enthusiastic of history, and the more I look into it, the more it stinks. It really does. Okay, so let's go to the next bit. Looking forward to people's comments on that. I'm also looking forward to... I got itchy nose tonight. It's really annoying me. The John Griffiths, who is doing amazing work on how to read the Colburn. And he's saying that there's Colburn on these coins as well. And we've got a bit more coming up in a second. Oh, and it's John again. Here we go. Now this is follow-up. If you've been watching the standalone videos that I put up about the origins of astronomy, astrology, religions, I do more about that. And one of the things is tracing back the dragon, which seems to go all the way back to Tiamat and represent comets and ancient astronomy. And I will be doing more on that. We got a slight distraction this week because of the things I mentioned earlier. So here we go, is our dragons and that, and then the curious thing is round the edge we've got what would seem to be ancient British Colburn writing, but as nothing can be British, it's been declared to be Viking, and there have been attempts at reading it, but it's not very successful. There's a bit of a zoom in there, you can see a slightly better idea. So what John's been doing is looking up these letters and translating it. And it's going to read out a little message. So a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. A short while ago, I presented the translation of the St. Paul's runestone to the group. This is the Britain's Hidden History group. If you go on Facebook, look for Britain's Hidden History, one word, and join in. Lots of things going on there, lots of chat, lots of good stuff, okay? British coins are minted pre-Roman invasion. Yes, they were indeed, Kraft said. You're quite right. And Marshall would like to discuss the Colburn with John Griffiths. Yeah, I think we should get on for a three-way Zoom. I think it'd be a good chat and we should record it as well. Right, anyway, at the time, when John came up with his translation, on Wikipedia, information read that the stone had been dug up after work on the cathedral and it was 26 feet down or so. And this was sometimes in the 19th century. So they were researching into the cathedral, 26 feet down, which puts it, well, you know, we're talking Roman era, that kind of era. So this is how Wilson and Blackett presented its discovery as well. They also wrote this in one of the books. So this obviously logically questioned its later Viking attribution. He's so polite, John. I try to be polite like this. I work on it. The church is said to be founded by Erkenvelt in about 620 AD. Oh, you can probably hear fireworks in the background. It begs the questions why later Vikings would visit the church and deposit the said stone at some depth. So to make it Viking, they had to dig a big hole and bury it down there. You know, predating the building, it's all very strange. Strangely, we now have a completely new explanation for the stone, with a Viking translation given which states the stone was in the grounds of the church. So the story's changing before our eyes, even on Wikipedia, especially on Wikipedia. So this is what happens. Every time the conventional narrative is thrown to be nonsense, it just shifts a bit and gets something else. Anyway, this is what makes it interesting and fun and gives us something to do. And here's another one. This is coming so thick and fast. I can't keep up. I really can't. Here's Dixie Thomas. He's also got some fantastic stuff to send me, which I meant to put up last week, all about the Roman. It's called Roman, but it's not Roman. Oh, come to me, Nick. Care. Right, we'll get back to that in a second. It's not far from here. That's what's really annoying me. And it's supposed to be a Roman fort there. But what is discovered, if you look at the photographs of the dig, I mean, this is scandalous. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Makes Britain sound like some third world banana republic sometimes. It really does. So when you go up to the site, it's promoted, there's signs all around it. It's a Roman fort. And it's presented, and the pictures and the reconstruction. And then, I keep wanting to say Gethley Gate, it's not Gethley Gate. Then when you go up there, then you see the pictures of the actual archaeological dig, very different, and even have round buildings. So you got this usual rule that anything with a corner is Roman, anything round is British. And they just don't show half the dig on the new pictures. I mean, what is going on, all right? Oh, hang on a second. Someone's got some comment about the expat. Hang on a sec. About the back of the coin. Is this the part you mean? Yeah, I can't really see much on that one, can you? Sorry, I had to go back to the article. So I'd love to get some feedback and some, comments. Yeah, this is a very dramatic find. So well done, Dixie, for spotting this in the news. It's a rare Roman sarcophagus unearthed in bustling central London. And it's remarkable as well because it's in the ancient British part. Yes, darling, what's up?
That thing looks a bit like, what's it called? Like the Tomb of the Globe.
The what?
The Tomb of the Globe, you know?
Tomb of the Globe?
It kind of looks a bit like it. Except it was something that'd be like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see what you mean, yeah. So again, we're going to have one of these problems now where I think if we go to, if I just zip over to the article itself. Come on, you can find this, Ross. Oh, man, come on. Right, okay, I'm going to have to, this is why I put the things on the page as well. Let's just give him a second, because the article is interesting. Come on. Oh, got stuck now. I don't want to show this. Alright, here we are. Bear with me 1 second, I apologise. It's been a tough all week. I'm not as prepared as I normally like to be. I'm never that well prepared. It's just a bluff for the people who haven't been here before. Right, and if you've been here before, you're back anyway. So you know what to expect. Right, okay. So there we go. So travelling around, let's read the article, okay? So in Southwark, so it's across the Thames from central London. I love this. Was a thriving commercial centre after Londinium was established about 50 AD. There is so much evidence that London predates. Marshall Abrams is doing work, and her theory at the moment is the reason it's originally called Troy Noventus, or New Troy, was that it was formed after what seems to have been a Trojan War, or it's been dressed up as a Trojan War, a war in Cambridgeshire, the area where you have Priam's Way, Gog and Magog, all these things, about 1100 BC, 1100 years before the Romans. I mean, the crazy thing is the Cimbri, which I think was related to the Cymry and the British, were looting the little village of Rome 410 BC. This idea the Romans are more advanced is very, very bizarre when you start looking into it. It seems to be a political decision to say that, rather than the evidence showing that. And I'm starting to wonder if the whole Roman edifice is just, well, it's a fraud, really. It's a fraud. It's a Renaissance fraud, and the buildings as well, probably not older than that either. Another piece of, you're going to just rock your world, dealing with someone called Luke, who's legal mind, he's legally qualified, and he's been re-looking at the Old Testament particularly from a legal contract point of view, and some of the things he spotted are absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, really mind-blowing. And we're going to be recording that hopefully this week and getting those videos up. So there's lots going on, and I really don't need time, really the distraction of a campaign trying to stop the whole area getting destroyed. So please, everyone get involved, all right? Save your own little bit. You know, it's just got to make, I don't know, anyway. Ding, press the button, back to the history. Right, okay, so it has to be, you see, it can't be earlier than 50 BC, because that means it's not Roman. Even though Caesar's own records talk about trying to get into London, which is kind of tricky if he's the one who hasn't built it for another 100 years. But anyway, so they got this stone sarcophagus. The lid was removed, causing a massive crack, showing a grave robbery, apparently in the 18th century. So we'd love you to know what happened to all the contents of that, wouldn't it? Very difficult to ascertain. You can't date the stone. It's full of earth. What can you do? You don't know when it was. I'll just call it Roman. It's honest. Read it. That's how it does. Hang on, there was something else about it. It did give some background. Yes, it's gone to the Museum of London Archaeological Archives. A good digging, you lot. Well done. And it was a year. See, this is what I don't understand. Why is it this was dug up and put in the Museum of London, and it's a year later? It's like this latest information on Sutton Hoo. The information was known about in February, and they, actually before February. In February, they announced there's been a major new discovery or evidence or something like that, and that there's going to be a major announcement, but this still hasn't come, and that's like 10 months later. You see, what we're trying to remember is these organisations are publicly funded. It's not the government, it's our money. Our money pays for them. And we'd like to see the results, please. If we pay some archaeologists or scientists to go and dig something up, can we please tell us what they find? Because we paid you to do it. Apparently not. All right? So here we go. So frescoes painted on plaster from Italy, which is built... hang on, we're going somewhere else now. They suddenly moved along. They're shifting the thing. All this stuff that's found. Come on, there's one more thing about it. Yeah, here we go again. Yeah, glass vessels again, cremated remains. They're just throwing all the evidence they've got, none of which on its own would stand up as being Roman. And this then, the tombstone. Okay, well, can we see the tombstone then, please? Because whenever we've translated other stones and looked at them and gone through them in detail, they don't actually translate as we're told. And most people are like me, a bit too lazy, and you get told it's Latin and this is what it means. You tend to think, oh, well, that's pretty much what it means then, because I'm not great at Latin, a little bit. So all these things from... So when you read through it again, once again, we've got another situation where they don't know, but the style and everything reminds me very much of the Frank's casket, which is, again, most likely British, as we discovered or discussed in other presentations, okay? Right, okay. All right. Oh, the turbines update, no political parties. I just want to mention, I'm not aligned to anybody. Oh, yeah. I know what this was. It's a prompt to remind me to talk about something. It's like anti-politics in a way. I'm not talking politics. I'm just pointing out a curiosity. And a curiosity is this, that, I'll just put it in one sentence. Why is it that none of the political parties seem to have any interest in this British and Welsh history that we're uncovering? You know, because a lot of the stuff we do is in Scotland, it's in England, it's in Ireland, it's not just Wales, although Wales is in the news at the moment. And obviously I'm in Wales and I am Welsh, so, my mother was born in England, don't tell anyone. But her mother didn't speak English even, so it's going to be a little bit English, all right? But anyway, I'm not biased by any means. I spent half my life living in England. When I was a boy, I was in Derbyshire, so it's not like I say, it's not a drive to push a political view or anything. None of this is. But what I would like an explanation for is that none of the political parties are interested in this. Not even like in Wales, Plaid Cymru, they're pretty mainstream. They've been around, 90 years or something, almost 100 years actually, or about 100 years. They're not interested. So you can see, they're a bit mainstream and they've been around a long time. But even things like Yes Cymru and Awake Wales and Nation Cymru and all these different independents isn't Wales great parties, not one has shown any interest. I've got an open door. I'll send the information to anyone. And I've had so many emails from people over the last couple of years. So don't send me any more like this, all right? I've had so many comments and emails the last couple of years saying, hey, you should send this information to Yes Cymru, or send it to Plaid Cymru, they'll love this, or send it to that party, they'll love this. It makes no difference. None of the parties are interested. And to me, that is very, very strange. Very, very strange. I've got some suggestions, because in foreign entities, well, that makes you wonder, part of the EU perhaps is Marcel there. I don't know where the pressure's coming from. Oh, he's just come back. Excellent. Good boy, Anne. You can save them for listen to me sing twice. So, what was I going to say then? Yes, so none of the parties make any difference. Even these supposed radical splinter groups, they're not interested. I was saying, the number of messages and emails I've had, you should send to this guy, send to that guy. Look, we get an average about, 800 people watch this every week. If everybody just tried and sent an email or something to an MP or any political party and say, hey, have you seen all this amazing history? Well, you're not interested in any of it. Just have a look perhaps. But there you go. Funny old world, isn't it? No one's interested at all. So there we go. Cymroglyphics is back in stock. I put that graphic up for that and everything because we ran out. We had to get another print run, so that's good news. And it's also in America, of course. Right, hang on a second. Now, I have to tell you about Hugh Evans' channel, because I mentioned it last week, didn't put the link up. And because he's just started and he's only got a few subscribers and that kind of thing, it's quite difficult to find his channel. And it is really good, and there's one I think you should watch. I'm not going to watch it now. Alright, so this is the channel. As you can see, it's just getting going. 26 subscribers. Origin of the Zodiac. Now, if you don't know, Hugh has written this fantastic book, which is showing how the Ptolemaic Zodiac starts in Gwynedd. You can see it mapped out in the hills. It's amazing. So, you know, for star group such as, I don't know, say Taurus, you've got the two horns like a U shape. Well, that fits with the Valley of Camland, which is exactly the same shape. Then you've got the 7 stars of, oh God, is it Cassiopeia? And the W of the 5 stars of Cassiopeia, you can see the 5 hills which that represents. Then the 7 stars forming, you know, the Great Bear or the Big Dipper or the Fold or whatever, however far back you want to go. You can see that mapped out. Then you got the rivers. One river forms the Milky Way, and you can see the place names, the farms, by the where the sun rises are. It's brilliant. And you also says the first ever Zodiac. So you can watch some of these little videos. They're quite short. They're very good. And the one I would recommend, because it's something I've always had a problem with, and I tried to explain it last week, and I don't think I did a great job, is this one here, 7 minutes 50, cool graphics and all that, explaining what the ecliptic is. Because it's in the book as well. You can buy the book from the website. Just go to Cymroglyphics.com, and it's fascinating because it's not just about the stars. He does explain how all this works, okay? So I've learned a lot from it, and I recommend it. As you can see, it's a new channel, so we need to get it going and boost him a little bit, all right? Okay. This is where I have to do this time. Right, you have to put watching me change things. Okay. And similarly, Marcel Abrahams. Right, now, folks, the viewers here are in trouble now because this video is absolutely brilliant. And I mentioned it last week. Oh, come on, Ross. 300 odd videos I've done now. I think it'd be a bit better than this, wouldn't he? Right, where's Marcel? Here we go. 200 subscribers. We've got to keep this channel boosting because these are fantastic. And this last one, Noah in Torbay, I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. It's all about ancient British history going way, 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 way back. What this channel's all about, okay? So, looking at the migration. And what's fascinating then is how you can see the historical Noah and the sites where the journey was all cropping up in Britain. Because it's starting to see more and more and more that the old theory that the Bible actually took place in Britain, and then Constantine transferred everything over to the Middle East in the 4th century as a political move, because he moved his capital to Istanbul, Constantinople. I have to ask the Turks, if you know the song, you might get that reference. Anyway, over to Constantinople, so you wonder history moved there. And there seems to have been a constant undermining of Britain in history terms for hundreds and hundreds of years, and this is part of that. So what is fascinating is all the places you can see in Britain which tie in with the biblical stories, not just place names, but the action, very interesting, and I would like you to watch that because it ties in with a lot of stuff I'm doing with Luke, which we're going up soon. And I've got stacks of videos here, and I've written scripts for some as well, which I need some help with. So Paul's done one for me, that's very good of him. And I did have someone else offer, and I do apologise, I've been snowed under with emails the last few weeks. So if you have offered before, yes, I do want some help putting videos out, please. They're all shot and everything, just a little bit of narration needed, and some help to get them out in time, because it's too much with everything else that's going on. I can't, I'm just falling behind. It's amazing. You find some of these, well, not some, but most YouTube channels, they have a problem with content, you know. They're running out of ideas, and they sort of have to waffle a bit. I mean, one thing that frustrates me on YouTube is when you switch on and it's sort of half an hour, 40 minutes introducing a subject that takes 10 minutes and half an hour talking about it afterwards. And I really tried to avoid that, and it's not a problem because we got so much. I cannot, as you always know, I aim to do these programs in an hour, and then we can't just want to jam it into an hour and a half. Right, I'm going to say a little bit about the... Yeah, right, Collins Beaumont looking more and more like the truth. Right, okay. As he's come up in conversation, where are you, Mr. Collins Beaumont? Oh no, I haven't got his book here. Yes, I have. Alright, well, anyway, it's a very interesting book, and I'm going to read it through again. So we've got a few books people might want to read. Now, these are not books that I sell, alright? This is just for interest. So one is Where Troy Once Stood. Let's make myself a bit bigger. There we go. Which is the idea there that the Trojan War, which I sort of slightly referred to earlier, took place in Cambridge. Marcell's done some more on this, and there are videos on this on my channel, and I'm sure Marcell will do more about it, showing all the place names fit and the geography fits and all this. This is not a new theory. Well, Eamon Wilkins, I think he's probably writing this in the 50s or 60s. I'm a little bit rusty on that side of it. But what we discovered is also, you got the Wilson and Blackett writing, The Trojan War 650 BC, which is a brilliant book, and everyone should read it, and that one I am selling. They show the Egyptian links with all the people involved, like how Ramses the First is Agamemnon, and Ramses the Second is... Oh, Gordon Bennett, I'm a bit rusty on this one, aren't I? Anyway, all the Trojan War characters, how they tie in. So it seems that we have two Trojan Wars, whether they're named Troy. I get a feeling that Troy is more of a generic title, because there's loads of places called Troy all over the place. And it might just be a title rather than one particular place. And the other book that I want to show you, so Eamon Wilkins places everything in Cambridgeshire, and he talks about the weather and the journeys. Where I would part company with him a lot, is he tries to explain that the journey home shown in the Odyssey was in the North Sea, which doesn't make any sense to me, especially as it could last 3 to 10 years. And I think that's just another story that's just been thrown into the mix and is a separate story. And Wilson and Blackett have very successfully shown, in my opinion, that that's a much older Egyptian story about a journey around the world. And I've got to get that book out quickly. Right, quickly, Zav, have a quick look. Where's the...
The what?
No, I can't see it. Right. One for next week anyway, okay?
The
Pardon?
The what?
I want the book there. Is the 4 or 5 Troys in Cornwall alone, says Marcell. Yeah, there's loads of them, isn't it? Right, so the other book, well, Collins Beaumont, you can find his book. I have the... Actually, do I have the book? I think I do. Or do I just borrow Marcell's and give it back? That might be why I can't find it. Right, so Collins Beaumont, Comyns, if you're looking for it. Beaumont, like Beau, Beaumont. He was a Daily Mail journalist originally, then he went away, he had this idea, and what he was trying to show was that the Bible was all set in Britain. I'm doing this from memory, and I haven't read the book, quick flick through. But for example, Jerusalem was up in Edinburgh in Scotland, and that's an interesting story, by the way. If you look at Edinburgh on its own, there are some videos on YouTube where the description does tie in with a lot of biblical descriptions, so that's quite fascinating. And then you had various things happening, mostly on the East Coast, where I think, and it's well worth reading. I want to talk more about that sometime. I might do another interview with Marcell, perhaps, if she's up for it. One of the things I would, she's better on this subject than I am, but one of the things, a flaw I think he has, is he never seems to realise there are places in the West as well. And if he'd, I get a feeling if you put Wales in as well, not excluding England, and maybe Jerusalem is in Edinburgh, a lot of the Old Testament places seem to be in Wales. And it all gets very... The whole of Britain seems to be involved in this. You might also want to look at Marco, Siluris 2020, and see what he's up to with his connections with the Bible. It's all... We're at a really exciting time, so look out. The next few weeks will be a lot of videos up, and hopefully some new literature as well. Is that it's very difficult if you've just arrived in Manila thinking, what on earth's going on here? Sometimes you just got to go with it a bit longer, keep going with it, because it's like a cliche, but it is like a jigsaw. And the problem is, I could talk about this part of the jigsaw, this corner of the jigsaw, for 10 years, and you could have the best knowledge of this part of the jigsaw down here. But, sorry, I was going to say I'm doing some nasty thing then by looking through one eye or something, but it's nothing like that. If you look at one corner of the jigsaw down here, then you might know that brilliantly, and you've got that jigsaw piece bang on in the right spot, but it doesn't mean anything, because, it might just be a shape or some, it doesn't look like anything. And it really is, you have to study around it, and it takes a long time to get the overall picture. Then everything, and you say, oh, actually, that little red blob in the corner, it's not a red blob in the corner at all, actually, that's part of a red London bus, or part of some red poppies, or part of this jumper, or wherever it is. All you know at the moment is red. You need to get the overall picture. So if you're feeling a bit lost, don't worry, don't panic. I still feel quite lost with the Babylonian stuff, for example. Oh, which reminds me, I got another load of stuff from Steve Wirt I was going to do in today's show, but it's just not going to be enough time. And I'm a bit worn out this week as well. I've had a really hard week. I've been away nearly all week and I've fallen behind. So watch those videos, Marshall, sorry. That's quite rude way I said that. Here's a fun one. Just a bit of fun. God, how much laughs tonight, don't we? That's because you're not looking at the show. You're playing your games, aren't you? Yeah, you've got to join the dots to build the big picture. Yes, I think there are clues everywhere. Yeah, I agree. Yes, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jay. Oh, Keith McLaren. Here we go. Piso-Flavian Bible. Oh, sorry. I thought you put some Latin for a second. I thought, God, that's going to test me. Oh, the Piso-Flavian Bible, 79 AD, Vesuvio. Now, my wife, Angie, I think that's the Bible she's been talking about this week. She got very excited. How the different translations of the Bibles, God, the romantic fun we have in the evenings talking about Bible translations. Versions, and because the fun bit is when you put this big jigsaw together, as you get more and more of the bits and you start to understand it more, and I would recommend talking with people if you can. This is like kind of my learning as well as hoping to pass on to other people. I'm hoping I learn. If you really want to know a subject, try and explain it to someone else. And I find some of my videos take days to do, even though they're only 15 minutes, because I can't do the video until I really understand it myself properly. So one of the fascinating bits is and I'd like people more educated on this than me to look into it, is how different versions of the Bible vary. And I tend to go with the King James Version, because you think, well, it's 50s or 60s. So this is going to be the definitive one, it's the earliest translation, but then you get people saying, yeah, but they were translating, they didn't from Greek, and they didn't know that very well, and all these different languages get involved. What we're really trying to do is nail down to what was the original Hebrew. And again, I know it sounds everything's Welsh. The Welsh language seems to be the closest modern language to the ancient language spoken in the Middle East. So I'm not saying they're all going around saying Yachida, chwarae rugby, and all that kind of stuff. It's a very close approximation to what they used to speak. And you can use the words to get clues. So if you could dig in more into these early Bibles and really look at the words and find out what is going on, I just feel as though we're half a dozen pieces away from putting together this vast jigsaw. It's that close. I think we're right on the edge. Because I'm in the middle, and I can see there's people coming from different directions. You've got people coming from a spiritual way, people coming from a historical way, ancient text way, sort of a legal way. And I can see it, that everyone is seeming to come to the same point, the same pictures being drawn. It's like one's drawing it with a brush, and one's drawing it with a pencil, and the other one's spraying it. But the pictures are actually the same thing. And the next couple of months are going to be very, very, very exciting. So, and it's, I don't know, coming to this climax, isn't it? It's like this sort of end times type thing. Oh, I like to talk about things like that. Anyway, here's a fun one. Anyway, just here we go. We'll just let me slightly different now. Is the UK urged to return sacred treasures hidden away for 150 years to Wales. Oh, no, hang on. Ethiopia, my mistake. And this is quite a scandal. And I have to say, hang on a second. Come on, you can do this, Rossi B. Yes, well done. Not very slick tonight. UK, now this is a real scandal, right? Check this out. This is the kind of thing that, so it's not just, me bleating about Wales or British things, lots of British items. Check this, right? So these items, they're basically these tabards, I think they're talking about, these sort of scarf type things around their neck, which are very important. I don't know if it's the things over their head. It doesn't really specify, it doesn't really matter, okay? The point of this is, these were looted by British soldiers after some sort of, I think it's a punitive raid into Ethiopia, because there's some trouble there, and he went there, and, the usual thing, chief got killed, and they took all their precious stuff and brought it back. More than 150 years ago. Amazingly, it's never been on public display. Isn't that incredible? And members of the public are strictly forbidden. And if you read on, I haven't got time to read the whole article out loud now, that students aren't allowed to either. You can't research, you can't look at them. It's really, really weird. So what they're saying is that because of the spiritual and religious value to the people of Ethiopia, no one can look at them. I don't get it. If you're not going to show anyone, lock them up, why don't you give them back? Or when can they be shown? I mean, I get the feeling that these things are warning ceremonies normally. I don't think they have to be completely hidden. Yeah, it says here they're tablets, you see. I always think of the things people begging on the streets wear when they have to out for charities, but I think originally it was from pages and lights of arms, that kind of thing. I see they have no apparent use or relevance to the museum. They don't. It's very, very bizarre. They're not even using them for research. This story I do not understand. And then it's all about the other ones. And I love, listen to this. This is the cherry on the top. These documents need to be reviewed and addressed with full consideration, and more time is required before this can be looked at by trustees. We've only had them 150 years. Give us a break. So there you go. And one of the places, I took photographs. I haven't had time to upload all the photographs yet. Because when I was in Brecon yesterday, something I didn't realise, which Uncle John, as I call him now, the Mayor of Cowbridge, who's wonderfully, this great guy. He's doing a brilliant job. I wish we had someone like that for Pontypridd. Anyway, one of the things I hadn't realised there is if you go to Brecon, and do a little bit of a tourist thing now, it's the least I can do in return for the hospitality I had, all the lovely breakfast and everything, is that the copy of the Llywel stone is held in the British Museum. And Brecon Museum. The original's in the British Museum. Actually, I'm going to have to show this, aren't I? See, this is why I never get anywhere. Because when I need to show, just quickly, I'll try and find if I can find the picture. Probably shouldn't have done this right now because I don't know where it is. Which book was it in? It's in the Where Jesus is Buried book. So I can find my pictures, images. Come on, Rossi B, you can do this. Yes, that didn't take too long, did it? Right, okay. Wow, so there we go. This is a great example here. So, the left-hand picture, we've got the Llywel stone. And this is as it is correctly displayed in Brecon. And what you find... I didn't check on the one in Brecon, as if it's got the markings around the edges. I assume it has, because it's a replica. So if you look at this, it's very interesting, all right? Now, clearly, we can't be definitive about what it means, but just get an idea. Not quite sure what's going on up here. There seems to be a person. Not quite sure what this is about, but this could be argued to be a pyramid. Maybe not. I'm not sort of, putting my mortgage on it or my house on it. But this could be a pyramid. This thing's going on. We could try and work out what the letters mean, the lines. And then this is clearly a human figure. And I think what Wilson Blackett say that you've got the crosses could be part significant. And it's bringing the Christian message across the waters to maybe a hilly area. Like Wales perhaps, or Britain. And this could be a thing. Then you've got the part of the journey here. So all this is going on anyway. This is the point, right? Interesting one for research. It'd be good to research it further. Unfortunately, the image on the right, this is how it's displayed in the British Museum. Kid you not. Upside down, with the back facing out, and all this stuff against a wall. I mean, This is what you're up against. Oh, we thought the Israeli accent was similar to Welsh. That's interesting. Cheers, Gary. The Basque and the Ark. All right, coming soon. All right, looking forward to that, Marshall. Yes, they're going upside down and facing the wall. And if you look in the British Museum library collections thing, it describes this as just random geometric patterns. It doesn't mention the little man there, or man, woman, person, whatever. And what they're doing, not mentioned at all. So there you go. So, I don't know, are we mad or something? What's going on in the world, What is going on? What is going on? I don't know. I'm Mr. Innocent and all this. Right, okay, so we get back to this guy. I'll tell you what, let's have a look. What else we got here? Right, okay, yes, we got this. This is, God, it's all news today. It's all this. Right, I want to give this a plug. Because as you might know, I was speaking at Megalithomania this year, online, of course, due to the restrictions. But hey, it was great. And I was lucky because I was a delegate or speaker. I got to see all the presentations at the time. And between you and me, I thought I wasn't going to be that interested. I thought it was going to be lots of geeky archaeology stuff. And I'm more into the history side. And I'll just be polite and just show up now and again so no one says, where's Ross? It's a good thing about being online. I can Skype and do something else. I could not have been more wrong. The speakers were absolutely brilliant. They were so interesting. I would highly recommend, go on YouTube, just search Megalithomania 2021. You'll find loads of them. And I particularly like people to watch the presentation by Gail Higginbottom. So I've been referring to this since, when was it, May, so June, July, August, September, October. Last 6 months, this is the one that sticks in my mind the most. And because one of the things she does, which would be very interesting for Britain's Hidden History fans, because she's a professional, the nearest I've seen to professional archaeoastrologer, whereby she combines archaeology and astrology on a professional basis. I mean, Robin Heath is still the daddy in my view, but Gail is pretty good. It's a good presentation. And I had a chat with her afterwards, so online. Now, one of the things that Gail uses, which I'd like people to look at, is some software. And I've been recommending this software to people, but I couldn't remember the name of it. And what it allows you to do is set up almost anywhere and any date as well. Let's go into dates just yet. But the point of it is, and I was doing this again last week up the Garth. This was an amazing coincidence. It's all about serendipity again. I was up on the Garth with a bunch of people from Britain's Hidden History. Another video is going to go up. Just a short one. And one of the things I'm trying to do up there is work out if the Garth is an observatory. Hugh Evans came up with the original idea. And I can see it out my window, so it's easier for me to pop up than him to drive up from England every time he wants to see it. And one of the ideas is that you've got a mound in the middle, and next to it there's a ridge. It's not very big. It's probably 10, 20 yards from the mound, and 15 yards long, 15 metres long. And the idea is, and I've done it by compass bearings, it seems correct, that if you look, as you're looking, it's pointing west. So that means the further north in the summer, the sun's going to appear further up this way. And what it seems to be, at one end of the ridge is the zenith, if you like. It's the furthest the sun, when the sun rises in the morning, if you look out your window, you'll notice every day it goes a little bit further north. It reaches midsummer, equinox, solstice, sorry, just get it right, the solstice. And then it'll go all the way back. There's the equinox halfway. All the way back down to the furthest point south, which is where it rises in the middle of winter. So middle of winter, the sun is right down in the south. You get long shadows. You never get a proper noon. In the summer, it's right way up as far north as it goes. So I think it's about 41 degrees off west, gives you the northern point, similar to the south. So what I have to do to check this is go up there on different days and take readings. And another month, it's going to be coming up to the winter solstice. And I'm going to get there for dawn and sunrise and sunset. And last year, I was going to do it, but no, it was cloudy almost the whole week. I just could not do it. That was my excuse. middle of December when it's it's not that early actually, 6, 7 in the morning, got to get up, climb the hill, that's the hard part, in the semi-dark, or the dark, and watch the dawn and see if the sun is hitting the end of this ridge. But what you can do with this software, which Gale uses, which I think is available, not too expensive or even free in certain usages, is you can set up that setting. I know you can do something similar on Google Earth and for sunrises and things, but this is much better. And the other thing it lets you do is see where the different star signs are ascending at different times of the year. Because the association with the Garth, if you don't know, by the way, it's the highest mountain in South Wales, although John was claiming one of the beacons, but I count that more mid-Wales. But as far as Glamorgan's concerned anyway, the Garth's the highest point. On top of it are 3 mounds, which seem to represent the belt of Orion, and then all around it you've got the other stars in the constellation mapped out by different mounds. And this is why these hilltops are so important, because ding, hit the bell again, but if they're going to smash through these stones, even if they put them in a museum or something, it's not the damn stones that matter so much, it's where they are. It's just as important. There might be some old rock art. Martin Hutchinson's found some amazing Neolithic rock art on one. It's not necessarily the important thing. Like up on St. Gennydd Common, we've got an idea that there's the whole solar system mapped out on the common. I used to think, and I think Wilson and Blackett did as well, that was the centre of the star map. So Polaris on the Garth, Orion on the Garth, Polaris there. You've got the Regulus, the Lionstone, that's another one. You could plot them all out right the way around, all the way up to Tumbarton and places. But Steve Willis has done more work on this, and we think very, very close now to plotting all the Babylonian zodiac onto the South Wales map, and it does work brilliantly. The tricky bit has been where the Polaris stone is does not match the centre of the Babylonian star map. So this caused a bit of a thinking and a bit of a delay. And one theory was that it's the area's been a star map, a very ancient one, say it's the Babylonian one, and then that's been another one appeared later, which would be the more classic Greek-style zodiac, sort of Ptolemaic one, which Hugh is talking about, although he says the Ptolemaic one comes before the Babylonian one, so, not subject I know enough about to jump too firmly either side. Right, so and that caused a lot of problems then, trying to work out the centre of this star map. And then Steve Willits, who's just clever and he has the advantage over me that he can just disappear for 3 or 4 weeks and just meditate and things like that, whereas I'm not going to get 10 minutes. Some of these things you need to find quiet time to have a good think. And Steve, not Wilson and Blackett have hit the point, but it ties in with the Mabinogi for those who are not up to speed. He plays a game of Gunpowder, which is the perfect Christmas present for the person who's got everything. You got little Gunpowder sets, beautiful box, all dressed up, wooden counters, full rules. Play Gunpowder, Irish version and the Scandinavian version. Anyway, that was an advert just thrown in there. And he explains the star signs and the movements. And you can see the 3 stones on the field to mark Polaris. But what we're now thinking is, this whole area of St. Gennydd is its own star map. So on St. Gennydd Mountain, you could actually see all the constellations, because there's loads of little piles of stones and stuff. Some have probably been moved, it's going to make this a nightmare. But anyway, that's the latest thinking. So you've got the big star map covering all of South Wales, which we can now more or less worked out, and then a smaller one on St. Gennydd Common to be used as a classroom, if you like, university. This is the layout. And that makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because you could stand up on a high rock and you could look down and you can see the whole thing laid out before you without having to... how on earth they made a star map 40, 50 miles across, I have no idea. It's like the NASCAR thing in Mexico. But because what Steve's very cleverly done, he's worked out where the centre is, which is a little distance away. Not a million miles, but it's Let's get 20 clues. It's not that far, but it's far enough away to reveal another place. Because Steve's worked the other way. He's brought the constellations on and then worked out where the centre must be. And that's months, a year, a lot of walking around trying to find a place and maths and I don't know. Steve getting drunk, whatever it takes. Right. Kay, yes, Campervan Kay. I need to pop your channel up again. We haven't spoken for ages. Contact Ross, Martin. Okay, lost me there. Am I contacting Martin or is Martin contacting Ross? Anyway, sorry, Kate. Yes, please, we've got to get in touch. I haven't followed your channel for ages. And I regret that because there's always some good stuff on there. So there you go. So this is where it's sort of building along. People are talking about growing numbers there. And I tell you, I'd like to... I'm always happy, as you see, to promote other people's channels. And Hugh Newman, who runs Megalith Mania. It's massive. I had 90-odd thousand subscribers last time I saw. He's given me a chance to be on there, which is great. And if people could try, the people in the group, to try and spread the word, and I would love to appear on more shows. Also, you can't beat live, in my view. I don't know what the restrictions are going to be for the lockdowns. I'm in Wales, I think from the 14th, the end of this week. We have to get permission to blow our nose or something. I don't know what's going on. But if I can move, probably into England rather than Wales, I'm always happy to turn up like I did yesterday and do a talk about any subjects you like, because I waffle every Sunday evening, so it's not a problem. You've got loads of Wilson and Blackett subjects and some of my own research and stuff like that. Anyway, so crack on, Ross, because time's almost up, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Right, here's another. This is a brilliant find. Just follow the link. Go to this guy. I've never heard him before. What was his name? Someone sent me this. Thank you very much. Here we go. It's on Odyssey, which people are urging that I should move my channel to Odyssey. If anything does happen on YouTube, because they don't like controversial subjects, and it's only history, everything in history is controversial, well, there you go. Most of our videos are already backed up on other platforms. We'll start doing Odyssey. God, I can't remember the ones we use now. The other big ones, anyway. That brand new tube and place, which I didn't like very much, actually. There's some other ones. So look out for that. Don't give up. Now, Charles Cos, he's now got 72 viewers. Wow, 16 views, so he's not getting any attention at all. And we'd like to give him some, as you can see, as a comment from me. Thank you for the brilliant video. I'm very pleased to let everyone know that Wilson and Blackett are alive and well. Just getting old and blah, blah, blah. Because what this bloke did, Charles Cox, he seems a very educated guy. It's a very nice little video. I should show a little bit of it. The intro's this long.
Well, hello everyone, and how are we doing? I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic. And this video is to address something that the famous or infamous authors Baron Blackett and Alan Wilson have to say. And they have said that there is a conspiracy against ancient British history, that pro-Anglo, pro-Germanic authors have cut this history out, sliced this history out of official record. And so the narrative thus goes that the Germans brought civilization to Britain and the Britons had none, despite the fact the Britons themselves were Romanized and probably more civilized by definition, living in cities, than the Germans. And also despite the fact that the Britons claimed a history going all the way back to the Trojans, having escaped Troy. So is there anything to this claim, to this substance? And while
right, there you go. The link will be there, or just have a look on the screen. I need to put the link in. It's quite hard to find things on Odyssey, I find at the moment. Anyway, this guy, Charles Cos, he's very confident, brilliant. Obviously, seems very academic. And what he's done, he's looked at Wilson and Blackett with an open mind. Wow, that's all we're asking people to do. And it's a fascinating interview. I say I don't rip off other people's work. He's found it. He's found 13th century medieval references where they actually discuss, we're taking out the British part from the history. It's a pretty important video. I do apologise to whoever sent me the link. I like to say who found it. It wasn't me just wandering through Odyssey, found it. Someone found this. And it's well worth watching it. 11 minutes long. I'll put the link in the description. And I'm trying to get hold of him. So if you can also say a message to him saying, "Hoi, Gelder Ross. Ross wants to speak to you." I'd love to do a Zoom interview or something with this chap. He just seems a decent bloke. I don't think he's a fan or anything. He just came and looked at it and said, "Yeah, I think they're right." So a bit of a plot spoiler there for you. He seems to think, yeah, it does seem that they're onto something. All right. Right, I can see people yawning. Well, that's my son anyway. Right, okay. I'm running out of my time now. So I just did a quick one here. Because I haven't prepared all the graphics because everything's running a bit late. And I was tired. Right, so what I wanted to do was show... Hang on, I could have put some graphics on the screen, can't I? Hope you've got nothing to look at except my mug. Right, so what we're doing is just quickly going into some excerpts from here, which is Architecture of Power by Rob. I haven't spoken to Rob, actually, for a bit. Right, okay. Did put those videos up you might have seen. Pictures. Come on, where are you? Photos, print folder, videos. Artwork. Final pics. Hey, here we go. Right, so got some of my drawings here. Right, we got this guy. Right. This is the guy you see in the book as well. So this is the drawing from the book. And this is Robert Cecil. Now, cut this short because we really do have to go to bed in a minute. Right, the first one is the... Can you get Arnie as well, please?
Yeah.
Arnie know to play us out in a second. And there's the other drawing you saw on the caption card front of the video. There's Guy Fawkes apparently was arrested in this scenario. Right, let me find the picture. Where what it means is he was smoking. Now I know health and safety fund police have got a little bit crazy in our modern lives, but I still don't think that he'd just be sitting there lighting his pipe, smoking if it really was a big pile of gunpowder. And as a lot of things in history, it seems to be the whole thing is a fabricated story. And I urge you to read this, but I'll do a video just on it. I might have another chat with Robert Shaw. We haven't spoken for a little bit. The books are still selling, Rob, sorry. Now, the point of this one was, so what they did, the two principal plotters, were Thomas Percy and Robert Catesby. And the plot was their idea. Now, they had form, as Robert puts it. They'd both been part of the Essex Rebellion, when the Earl of Essex, the dashing Robert Devereux, had tried to take the throne from Queen Elizabeth in 1601. Now, I paraphrase the storyline because you'll get the hang of this story quite quickly if you've got an explorer in mind. It seems that they had a real desire to flush out certain Catholics. They needed an excuse. They needed a false flag. This is what people realise. This is how you run governments. It's nothing new. It's nothing amazing about our current leaders. It's so terrible. This always happened. This has always happened. So how do you give yourself an excuse to attack or wipe out opponents? Well, one of the ways you can do this, of course, is to get some... So what's happened is some people called red-handed, causing problems, and they could have been executed. They were at pain of death. They're the kind of people you want, what's commonly known as patsies. So Robert Cecil, who's this amazing... more pictures here. There's some pictures of the book. There's someone defecating, to put it politely, on the crowd. Oh, we're going through the... Oh, that's great. I just by accident, all my pictures are together. There's some of the churches I painted and stuff. Hang on. I want to go the other way then, don't I? Oh gosh, all pictures from the book. All in one folder. So I can just loop through slightly while we're talking. Right, so anyway, so they had them bangs to rights, and they're going to kill them in the most gruesome manner after torturing and all that kind of stuff. So what you do a deal. And this is the point you do the deal. So the deal is then, their job was to go around fermenting this sort of gunpowder plot. That's what they were setting out to do. So they had to go round, and there is very cunning how they've done it. They went round, did loads of confessions, spoke to loads of Jesuit priests, because they have the problem where if it's confession, they have to sworn to secrecy. So they started telling all these people, there's going to be an explosion, there's going to be an explosion. And of course, they're sworn to secrecy, can't tell anyone. What he's done is immediately made them sort of accessory to the crime, if you like. Oh, what's that one?
He was only seeing the top messages.
Oh, on the wrong message setting. No wonder I wasn't seeing so many. Oh, there's millions of rests. All right, okay. Well, thanks, David. Thanks for all the comments, everyone. Jupiter and Venus are brighter. I'll come back to that second. All right, I'm not going to spend too long on the gunpowder plot. I'm sure you've all got the idea how these things work. If you're on this channel by now, you'd have worked it out. So they went around incriminating as many people as possible who weren't in a position to say anything. They then rounded up various Catholics, and then they organised for this hit, which basically never happened. It was never going to happen. But what it did do then, it gave them a perfect excuse to go around basically arresting anybody who wanted to and accusing them of trying to blow up the House of Parliament and getting these people killed. And the true traditions then of most patsies, you then kill your patsy anyway. Anyway, I won't get too much onto that now. There he is. Michael's drawing of, because it's almost 9:30. Nani came in to play the music. He's disappeared. What happened there? Right, I do want to talk one thing though. Wow. Right, did anyone notice that Jupiter and Venus are brighter? Thank you, Hugh Evans, because yes, we most certainly have noticed. A few of us have noticed.
I definitely noticed.
Pardon?
I've definitely noticed.
Ah, yeah, you noticed, Savvy, didn't you? Yeah, well done. Yeah, you pointed out to me, actually. Savvy pointed this out. Fair play, I have to say. Next time if you can see Savvy on the camera, I can't... Let's get rid of Guy Fawkes. November the 5th is gone. Anyway, buy the book. It's all in there. Who did it, how they did it, when they did it, all that kind of stuff. How they arrested them, how they caught them. A lot of stuff in that book. Anyway, let's talk about the stars a minute. Is that... yeah, what did you notice then, Zav?
I was noticing it's just got brighter.
Do you know where Jupiter is?
Kind of, it's actually over like there.
That's it, yeah. Did you notice another one, another bright one appearing near it?
Yeah, it's like... Oh, I've noticed one like somewhere in that direction.
And one next to Jupiter as well?
I haven't really noticed that one.
Do you remember over Christmas we saw two together?
Oh yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, we had Jupiter and Saturn together over Christmas, and they were so closely conjoined. That's what they call together, if you're not into the jargon. They looked like this super bright Christmas star, which is quite amazing, because it really was a tremendous sight over Christmas. Now, one of the things learned people in this group, who know more about these things than I do, is that, yeah, we had a couple of very, very clear nights we could see the stars. Yeah, the spraying of the sky seemed to stop for a couple of days. Sorry, little joke, Mr. PH, smoking on top of those gunpowder barrels. He could have been Britain's first ever astronaut. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the conjunction was immense. Yeah, all this you can see with the naked eye. We haven't used telescopes or anything. It's really bright. And been really bright again the last few days. And I want to give too much away, but anyway, one of the synchronicities or, these things happening together was perhaps people in the group could confirm, is the conjunction of those two planets, Saturn and Venus, I think it is, does that mark Capricorn in some way? I've heard it seems the conjunction represents Capricorn. If you want to talk more about that, I think we should do more star talks as well. And Hugh's the one, and I get Hugh on for a Zoom chat, because what happened with the book, we had loads of printing problems. The printer Hugh used disappeared and took his money. It's been a real struggle, and Hugh's done well to stick at it and get the book out there. But it has meant that all the stuff we had ready, and we're talking about last summer, videos from North Wales and all that, need to go up now rather than then and redo the whole thing. So if we want to keep going on the chat, I'll leave that open a bit longer, and I will be looking through when boys go to bed and everything, because I have to call it a day there now and get towards the end of the show. But I'm very interested to hear more about these stars and, well, planets, moving stars. Oh my goodness, it's a whole can of worms. You start looking into it. When we're talking about planets, stars, is there anything such thing as stars or planets? When I refer in this planet channel generally, it's things as they appear from Earth. Okay, call them what you like. I seen a shooting star last Crimbo. Oh, well done, Martin. Yeah, so you've got to pay more attention. Tumbalan is Capricorn. See, that's freaky if Tumbalan's Capricorn as well, which it could well be. Because that's where we were a few weeks ago. And all these things are tied together by the same person. And it's all, when he sees this video and the comments coming up, Easy me a little bit freaked out. Yes, good night, Ross and the boys. Yeah, North Star. Right. What are you playing for us, Arnie B?
Men of Harlech.
Men of Harlech.
Quickly.
You didn't hear my protest song earlier, did you?
No.
You don't know the tune? No, I sing and everyone else protests, alright? That's the way it goes. Alright, so don't forget, find out. You'll be... It's all going to go. All these star maps and mounds and ancient churches, anything on uplands of Wales. I don't know what's happening in England or Scotland, or Scotland's getting the same. But it's all over Wales, all the way up to Anglesey, all the way down to the south, all the way out to the west to Carmarthen. And it's no consultation, no discussion. It's not done for the people's benefit, I can assure you. Because the same way we don't get cheaper water or gas or anything else that's exploited from this country, it's all for now, nothing coming back. Anyway, let's try and end with a smile on a Sunday evening. No staff of Independent Tropical Mirtha. Cheers, Andrew. I'll try to be happy. Ba, 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 ba. Right, so good night to all, good night to everyone. Thank you, Marshall and Hugh particularly, for chipping in on the Astronomical, and Martin. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. There's so much to come out this week. There's so much, so please, 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 if you can help with the videos, a bit of editing, that would be much appreciated. I can just send you the whole folder. You can make it into a 10-15 minute film. Very good. Thank you, Arnie. Right, am I going to press the right button now? Do you want to do this, Sav?
Oh, can I?
Arnie's going to do it.
So which button is it for caption?
Well, we got it wrong last time, so I don't know. 3, I think. Go for 3.
Oh no, I think 3 is...
Oh, yeah, everybody, the Arnie fan club, want to see Arnie first.
4.
Get your head down to the camera.
Hello.
Arnie, they all played rugby this morning.
Now
well
it's
done,
our
Sav,
next
Arnie.
time. Heather.
Here we go. Oh!
Oh, you get misinformation.
No, it wasn't far off. It's a full screen share. Which one is it?
Try one.
None of them are
I've
working.
already pressed 3. I think it might be that. There we go.
There we go. 4. Oh, let's leave it on here, actually. No, that's fine. Leave it on Mr. Guido Fawkes. There we are. Guido, as he's called in Wales. Okay. Right, I'm going to pull the speakers off now, and there will be more videos this week. Please, 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 keep the messages coming through. Keep struggling. Keep the faith. And,
Daddy, it went with this.
What?
It went with this.
Yes. Oh, it's going back to that. Yeah, we've got a lag, I think. Anyway, I'm putting the thing out now, so North Star, everyone.